Hey everybody, it's Kim Peterson here of Uniquely Savvy, and you have been on my mind. So I thought I'd just come and check in. How are you? Really? How are you doing on this last day of January 2023? Now, I hope you have had a great start to the new year. I know I sure have, and what I know to be true, it's been a full year. And I'm not talking about full in terms of just activities and going here and going there. I'm talking about real life kind of full. Mind, body, soul kind of full. Wins and losses kind of full. I want you to know that a couple of weeks ago, I saw this meme that said, perfect is an illusion. And so I wanted to share that with you and then give you some ways that that applies in my own life and how I have put into place some habits and some tips that I'd love to share with you in case it's helpful and relevant. They used the imagery of an apple. Perfect is an illusion. And here is what I want to say. There's no such thing as perfect, and it is an illusion. Because guess what? We only see part of what others want us to see and beyond. Now listen, perfect is an illusion. And I want to talk about social media. They talked about social media, and I thought, yes, that makes sense. Social media can be very, very deceptive because what often happens is people, everyday people, stars, celebrities, but everyday people are posting just what they want you to see. And that can be very dangerous. So I think this is a very critical message for young people in particular, as well as for adults, for you, for me. What we see on social media can be very, very deceptive. And the problem is that it can lead us down the path of the toxicity of comparing ourselves to others, right? We can look at that and go, well, why is that person always so happy? They have the perfect career, the perfect relationships, the perfect car, the perfect wardrobe. And you know what? Perfect is an illusion. Now, some people will choose to hide what's really going on. Not that social media is the place to put it all out there. But the thing is we never know what's really going on. And so we must keep the mindset that perfect is an illusion. There's no such thing as perfect. And there's no such thing as life lived out perfectly. So you must, develop a mindset of self-awareness, of reality, of what's important to you, the values that are important to you, and really tend to cultivating a mindset of reality and truth, honestly. And so with that, it means you have to be able to look at social media with a grain of salt. Now, I want you to know that also is one of the reasons why I share vulnerable topics, because guess what? Research statistics show us that many of you are struggling with vulnerable topics, and we might put a mask on it to cover it, to hide it. It's why I share some of my vulnerable truths when it's appropriate, because I want people to be able to look in their own backyard or look at somebody else they know and say, you know what, if she could do it, so can I. I never want you to look at me and think that I am perfect or remotely perfect, or that I don't struggle. And I'm going to give you an example now, and then I'm going to give you some 3 quick tips to help you navigate as you go forward in case it's relevant. Now, I got to thinking about this Christmas card here that I sent out. Still sending some, by the way. But you can see I am smiling in every one of those photos. Now, last year I had a beautiful year full of lots of growth, personally and professionally, a lot of expansion, capacity building, joy, happiness, adventures. And at the same time, I had 11 losses of life. And I'm talking about people who were dear to me, friends, clients, family, and a couple of fur babies that were adored by me as well. And this started to happen in January. And so what I want you to know is, even though I had all these smiles, real life was going on. Now, I would write about these things from time to time, but unless you saw them or you read them, you may think, oh, her year was perfect. I want you to know here, this was a bucket list trip to Cape Cod. Over here, I had just earned a medal for doing a Spartan race with 20 hardcore obstacles, celebrating a friend's wedding, and Christmas and holiday and sparkle and shine. And yet what I want you to know is life was not perfect. And so I had to choose to develop habits. I had to choose to make commitments to myself so that I could expand my capacity and live my life in a way that was true and honest, and in a way that was sustainable, and allowing me to experience both the joys and the sorrows, the wins and the losses, the victories, the defeats, the ups and downs. So I want to share a few things with you now. Actually, let me go back to this and just say a couple of things. In each one of these pictures, I could share with you a true story of what was going on internally or privately. I will also say that on my bucket list vacation, there was a medical emergency. I was dealing with about 4 last year. Big ones that took energy and time and research and advocacy. What else? In the Spartan race, folks, there was one time when I was barely able to step forward because the obstacle was so intense. And but I kept saying, keep your eye on the prize, take one baby step after the next, and just get to the finish line. And I did. But yet you see a big smile and a medal at the end, but you don't know the journey. You don't know the journey. So perfect is an illusion. Okay, here are mind, body, soul tips. Why? Again, my name is Kim Peterson. If you don't know me, I am the brand, style, and confidence coach for the whole you, mind, body, and soul. Why? Because it's not enough just to look good. It's not enough just to communicate well and have great presentation skills. As a matter of fact, it is absolutely important that we are connecting at a gut level to our authentic selves. That's what's most important. And that is a function of mind, body, soul, which of course includes your style as well. So tip number 1 for mind. How did I make it through this last year with the ability to experience joy amongst all the losses and difficulty? Number 1, I fanned the flame of the mindset, both and living. This might be something you want to develop if you don't already have it. And here's just one quick example. Both and living allows you to experience the great joy and the great celebrations and the gratitude of being friends with and having known those 11 people who lost their lives in 2022. And that's on one hand. And on the other hand, I allowed myself to grieve and to mourn, and then to release, and then for me to release them over to God. So that's both and living. I couldn't stuff one down. I couldn't stuff my grief down. That was not going to serve me the whole year. And again, I couldn't not celebrate the joy and the gratitude for who they were, because guess what? If I didn't allow that to happen with these losses, every reason that I had to celebrate life thereafter would be a challenge too. I would have this inner tension, this conflict. Well, no, but I can't celebrate. I can't be happy because after all, this happened over here. So that is the mind tip out of mind, body, and soul tips. Here's the body tip. Okay. there are many, but here's the body tip. Dress your truth. Dress your body in the truth of who you are. Why? Because scientifically, research shows us that when you dress your truth, you are building your resilience, your confidence, your desire to take risks, and so much more. When you are wearing your truth, and that's what I did, even though life was happening, I was dressing my truth. Who am I, and how do I express that and communicate that through my wardrobe? That was resilience building. That was a specific tool that I used for my body. And then soul. Here's the soul tip: is to create a practice of gratitude. So for me, every day last year, I, among other things, I would write out one gratitude, because you then see that there is always something to be grateful for. And so it builds your capacity in your mind, body, and soul, because you're not just focusing on the losses or the setbacks or whatever those things may be, you know, personally, professionally, relationally, in your career, etc. So these are 3 mind, body, soul tips that I use, that I incorporated, that I would invite you to explore. I gave hopefully some easy-ish ones, but there are several. I'm trying to keep everything nice and short. But anyway, when you can do these things, you're integrating more of you into the whole of you. It's building a stronger, more fortified you. It's bringing you more self-awareness. It's helping you to bring yourself into a place of reality instead of the illusion. And it's also going to help you, you know, move from fear into new levels of freedom and inner peace and confidence and joy and so much more. And don't you want that? I know I sure do. Again, my name is Kim Peterson. I'm championing your confident breakthroughs on the inside and the out, mind, body, and soul. Make it a great day, and let me know, how are you? What's been on your mind? We'll be having more conversations in the months to come. Bye for now.